Hello NuPIC, this is Matt Taylor, the open source community flag bearer for Numenta, and this is my first video log. I've decided to experiment with this and see how it goes. I'm going to use it for a few different things. One is to brainstorm ideas that I have, either because I'm looking for feedback on them. They may be ideas, technical ideas, project ideas, process ideas, anything that involves HTM essentially and NuPIC. Or I could just be talking about ideas that I'm wanted to share, to plant seeds within a community, to get other people maybe trying to do some of these things that I don't have the bandwidth to do. Also use it just to discuss general issues, community issues, technical issues, problems with our process or whatever. And I could probably use this for answering mailing list queries, although I don't know if I will. But if there's a particularly interesting discussion or something and I have something to say about it, maybe I could record a video log and respond with that. We'll see how that's received by the community if I do it. And it's also a place where I can do some quick updates, or give the community in general some quick updates on events that are coming up. So what I'm going to talk about for this video log, whatever, is NuPIC Challenge. So these are largely unplanned train of thought sort of things. So this is not going to be as polished as a lot of my other YouTube content. I'm just going to make this as easy and for me as possible to just put content on YouTube. I basically just hit a button, it starts recording, and I talk. So here we go. So about the NuPIC Challenge. So the main reason, which I didn't really talk about why we were changing formats, is we've had 5 hackathons that have been fairly successful, I think. Brought a lot of people into the community, and I've been really happy with the community response. But the biggest complaint that I get from hackers at these hackathons is that they don't have enough time, and I can totally understand that. There's a lot of reasons why. It's really hard to get particularly a NuPIC sample application, hack, whatever, up and online within 36 hours. Especially if you come to the event and you've never run NuPIC before and you have no experience with HTM theory, etc. It's going to be extremely difficult to get something working in that small amount of time, even if you do have a bunch of resources there on site. So we've changed essentially from a 36-hour, 2-day, over-the-weekend hackathon to a 1-month challenge that can be done remotely, but ends in an on-site event here in Silicon Valley this time. But in the future, the on-site could be in another location. So let's see here. I'm going to lay out the timeline for this. This is all planning, so don't take this as the end answer for anything. This is what I'm planning. October 16th. Submissions open. Submissions open. This means anybody can submit an idea for their application for the challenge. So when you submit ideas, they go into a queue for review. I'm going to be reviewing these ideas. I might ask for some help to review them, but I think I'll definitely have a part in these. They're going to be reviewed with the main idea of making sure that they will be successful. One, that HTM is applicable to the problem. 2, that the data is readily available and temporal. And I guess 3, I don't know what 3 is, some other third thing. But definitely we want to make sure that these submissions are going to be successful or interesting or innovative, or we might just even have some feedback. So when submissions go into review, that starts a discussion with us. We might just say, yes, that's great, publish it. If they get approved, they go into a public gallery of submissions that anybody can see. So, but during the review phase, this is our chance to have a discussion about what you're trying to do, maybe give you some ideas of how you could be more successful. So we haven't had that opportunity in other hackathons, although I try and tend to walk around, talk to people, but this is sort of a more formal way of doing it. And I think it's going to make hackers more successful. The main idea of moving to this format is so we get better hacks, better prototype applications, more innovation, more cool ideas coming out of it. I want to see more successful HTM applications come out of these events. So that's why we moved to a longer format. It's going to be more successful if you have more time. A review period for submissions so that we can help you make sure that your submission is going to work properly, give you ideas or advice on how to do things. And then once it's in the public gallery, anybody can see it and you're essentially a contender. You've got 1 month. I think submissions are going to end, looks like closed on the November 13th. So that's basically 1 month. But November 1st, this is all what I'm planning. I don't know if it's actually going to work out that way. Let's say submissions open and submissions closed. The thing is, I don't want, like in the past week, in the last week of the challenge, to have like 20 submissions come in. I'm going to have a 2-week period here between October 16th and November 1st where submissions are open. Anybody can submit. This is all subject to change, but this is what I'm planning. So I have an idea of how many demos we're going to have. Then on the 13th, this is actually like the put down your pencil day. We'll just call it stop work. I don't think there's anything that's going to prevent you from continuing to work up until you give your demo, but I'm going to try and encourage people to hit this date so they don't have to be rushing at the very end. Okay, so this is all remote. This is all the remote stuff up here. But we also have an on-site event that we'll be having somewhere in Silicon Valley this time. It will consist of, on the 13th, which is a Friday, a community event. And I don't know what this is going to be yet. I am going to try and facilitate it. Hopefully I can help find a venue, maybe provide some food and drinks. But I would like the community to plan this. I would like I would like you to define what it is you want this event to be, whether it's just networking or a social hour, or you actually want to come together and put some presentations together, share the work that you've been doing with HTM and NuPIC. I'm going to ask for some volunteers to help plan this, and I will help facilitate it. But I want it to be community driven. I guess that's the point. On most of these other events that I do, I decide what the content's going to be, but I want the community to kind of step forward and make some decisions about what they want out of it too. And then we've got the big event on the 14th, which is a Saturday, and that's demos. So what this is going to be, what I anticipate is Saturday, like mid-morning, mid-afternoon, we'll have 2 to 3 educational sessions where we'll have HTM experts or even NuPIC experts, somebody, talk about what's new, what's going on with the technology, maybe give a presentation on something they've been working on. If Jeff has any new content, maybe he could give one of those. I'm not sure that's going to be the case this fall, but I've definitely got Subutai on the hook. to talk about some of the work they've been doing in the research department. And then that afternoon, there's probably going to be a good 4 hours of demos. Hopefully we get enough submissions that we'll have a good 4 hours of demos. Those are going to be on site. If you can't make it to be on site to give your demo, you can record your demo, do a screencast of it, put it on YouTube, link it to your project. If you do that by November 13th, that gives me enough time to have the judging panel review your submission. That way they can at least have seen the submissions that are done remotely and have something to compare the on-site submissions to. So it's certainly true that the on-site demos are going to have a bit of an advantage over the YouTube demos just because they have direct interaction with the judging panel. But we're just going to have to deal with that. It's better than having no remote participation at all. So we'll deal with that when it comes up. So I think that's pretty much it. As you can tell, if you made it through here, this whole video log thing this format is very informal. I'm not planning on polishing it up at all. So this is what it is. If you found this to be useful, please let me know. I don't want to be throwing this stuff out there and into a big hole and nobody cares. So let me know if this is useful or if it's distracting. Certainly, I don't need to do it. So thanks for watching my first HTM video log. Signing out.